Them last.
He got one.
Yeah, good done.
Who was that, Hutchins? Oh, he ain't came up.
Okay, once we record, we're gonna be able to hear you all talking. So, uh-oh, this is not working. Live streamed. All right, let's see, give me one more second. All righty. All righty, again, good morning or afternoon. I am Judge Pitts. I'm going to make a brief announcement and then I'll give you the information that you need. You are here for a first appearance, which means you're here for me to inform you of your charges, set your bond, and give your next court date. You do have certain rights. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one may be appointed to represent you. There is an application that you'll have to complete and possibly a fee for you to pay. You also have the right to a preliminary hearing. At that preliminary hearing, the officer will be present, possibly any victims or witnesses. Everyone will have a chance to be heard. The court will determine whether it's more likely than not that you are the person who committed, that a crime has been committed, I see someone trying to come in. Is that one of the people that should be on the calendar today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, go ahead and let him in, then I won't have to repeat it. All right, for his sake, I'm going to start over. Sir, I'm Judge Pitts. I'm just giving a brief announcement. You do have the right. This is a first appearance, which means you're here for me to inform you of your charges, set your bond, and give your next court date. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one may be appointed to represent you. There is an application that you must complete and possibly a fee for you to pay. You also have the right to a preliminary or probable cause hearing. At that hearing, the officer will be present, possibly any victims or witnesses. Everyone will have a chance to be heard. The judge at that time will determine whether a crime has been committed and whether it's more likely than not that you are the person who committed the crime. If the court finds that there is probable cause, then the case moves to the next step. If there is no probable cause, then the charges are dismissed. That hearing does not take place today. It must be specially set. You also have the right to a trial. At your trial, you have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses that the city might bring to testify against you. You have the right to bring your own witnesses, and you have the right to testify on your own behalf. You also have the absolute right to remain silent and to know that your silence will not be held against you. Once again, this is your first appearance, which means I'm going to inform you of your charges, set your bond, and give your next court date. All right, since there's someone sitting at the table already, can you tell me your name?
Goodman.
Mr. Goodman, right, you're here on a theft by shoplifting. That's your underlying charge, but you were arrested on a warrant for failure to appear. Your bond amount on each is $1,000 for a total of $2,000. If you're interested, the date of the incident for the theft by shoplifting was March of 2023. Your court date was April of 2023, and the warrant was signed July 2023. If you don't already, officer, can you tell me where this location is? Never mind. I think this one was Walmart. So you're going to have special conditions to stay away from the Walmart at 844 Cleveland Avenue. And that's why this case is pending. Do you have any questions, Mr. Goodman?
By any chance, that, cause this is my first time my first offense on this kind of stuff. I'm gonna have like a history like that of committing crimes as impossible. Anyway, I started a job Wednesday, and I'm just trying to, I could like take probation or something, but I'm just trying to do the least.
Well, this is not, we're not pleading. As I explained, this is the first appearance, which means you're here for me to inform you of your charges, set your bond, and your next court date. Are you going to represent yourself, or will you be asking for an attorney? I didn't hear you.
So,
You're representing yourself? Can you back up? Because when you lean up, are you said yes, you're representing yourself? Okay. All right. I think you said yes. All right. Any other questions?
be aware today when my next court date is, or
Your next court date is going to be Wednesday,
Wednesday of this week?
correct?
What time, ma'am?
Well, you know what? Today is Tuesday. No, today is Monday. Yes, it'll be the Wednesday.
It'll be-
The calendar call is at 8 o'clock. You may not be seen at 8 o'clock though, but that's what time is scheduled.
Okay, the definitely Wednesday of this week, right?
Wednesday of this week, which is September 7th, September 6th, because today is the 4th.
Yes, ma'am. Okay,
Any other questions?
no, ma'am.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next person. Tell me your name.
Abdul Cornelius.
All right, Mr. Abdul, your charge is obstruction. Your case is under a state charge, 16-10-24, for which we do not have jurisdiction. I can set your bond at 2,000. You have an option to pre-try the case with the solicitor to see if he'd be willing to make you some type of offer, or your case can be bound over to state court, or you can have a preliminary or probable cause hearing. Those are your three choices.
So y'all don't have jurisdiction, but it's on.
Say that again,
The court doesn't have jurisdiction over.
because it's a state charge,
Okay.
unless the solicitor wants to amend it, lower it somehow. But do you want to represent yourself, or will you be asking for a court-appointed attorney?
You gave me a bond, right? 2,000?
I set it at 2,000.
Okay, all right.
Okay, are you going to represent yourself, or will you be asking for an attorney?
No, I have an attorney.
So- Okay, so you're gonna hire your own attorney for this case?
Yeah, is there any way that, since I have one charge, can it be 1,000?
No, sir, it's gonna be 2,000.
Me too, okay.
You intend on bonding out?
Yes,
All right, if you're still here, they'll bring you back on Wednesday.
okay, all right.
Otherwise, your court date is gonna be what's on the bottom of your citation.
Very much, Jim.
All right, thank you, sir. And sir, if you'll tell me your name?
Malik Davis.
Mr. Davis, you have one charge of theft by shoplifting. Your bond is $1,000. You're also going to have special conditions. Officer Hall, I don't know the location of this. Was this also Walmart?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so you'll have special conditions to stay away from 844 Cleveland Avenue. Any questions?
I have a question. So with the bond, you say it's $1,000, so don't we pay 10% of that?
I don't tell how much you pay a bond. You call the bonding company, they'll tell you exactly how much to pay, or you can pay the amount in full to the jail.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are you going to, one moment, are you going to represent yourself, or would you like an attorney to represent you?
I'll represent myself.
Okay, any other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, if you're unable to postpone, they'll bring you back on Wednesday.
Okay.
Otherwise, your court date will be what's on the bottom of your citation.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Next person,
Anthony Williams.
Mr. Williams, you have one charge of theft by shoplifting. However, you were also arrested on a failure to appear. Your bond is going to be $1,000 on each for a total of $2,000. This arrest date was, or the incident was April 2022. Your court date was June 2022, and the warrant was signed June of this year. If you don't already, you'll have special conditions. Was this also at Walmart?
No, ma'am. This was, Camp Creek. I actually wasn't aware.
Hold on, give me a second. I can look it up since there's a warrant. Give me one moment, Mr. Williams. Okay, why isn't this typing? Bear with me. Right, this shows Camp Creek, so you'll have special conditions to stay away from 3503 Camp Creek Parkway. And you were getting ready to say you weren't aware of what, Mr. Williams?
That charges were filed, I actually was brought in, because it was like very petty, like I was hungry at the time. I'm not from Georgia.
Okay, well, there's your signature is on the bottom of the citation. And you were arrested at that time and given a copy of the citation and told to come back to court June 6th,
6. I wasn't aware,
2020.
like
Said it again?
I wasn't aware, like I hadn't even made contact not long ago with the court, and I wasn't informed. I didn't know the charge.
What is it that you weren't aware of? Because listen to what I'm saying. You were arrested on April 20th, 2022.
Right.
You signed the citation, one moment, you signed the citation, and on the bottom of your citation, it tells you when to come back to court. And you did not come back to court on the day you were supposed to.
I wasn't aware, because I thought that they had said the man was not pressing charge. That's why they had let me out. They didn't book me or anything.
Well, sir, I'm not sure what you mean there, unless you have some documentation telling you the charges were dropped, that's incorrect. You just didn't come back to court. That's why the warrant was issued. I don't know who you're referring to as they.
No, I wasn't intake by the officer. They brought me down here. They informed me of the situation, and then I left. I didn't go back to jail or anything.
All right, well, you have these charges pending. Are you going to represent yourself, or will you be asking for an attorney to represent you?
I'll represent myself.
All right, if you're not able to post bond, they'll bring you back on Wednesday.
Okay.
Otherwise, your court date, you'll get a new court date when you come back or before you come back. Any questions?
No,
Any
ma'am.
other questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, and you were the last person to come in, is that correct?
Correct.
And let me make sure the other people who are already in, I think I've seen all of them and you're the last one.
I believe so.
All right, and are you Brandon Hutchins?
Correct.
All right, Mr. Hutchins, I just need to give you the same information I provided to them before I go any further. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one may be appointed to represent you. There is an application that you must complete and possibly a fee for you to pay. Again, this is your first appearance, which means you're here for me to inform you of your charges, set your bond, and give you your next court date. You do have the right to have a preliminary or probable cause hearing. At that hearing, the officer will be present, possibly any victims or witnesses. Everyone will have a chance to be heard. The court will determine whether there was a crime committed and whether it's more likely than not that you are the person who committed that crime. If the court finds that there is probable cause, then the case moves to the next step. If there is no probable cause, then the charges are dismissed. That hearing does not take place today. It must be reset or specially set. You also have the right to a trial. At your trial, you have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses that the city might bring to testify against you. You have the right to bring your own witnesses, and you have the right to testify on your own behalf. You also have the absolute right to remain silent and to know that your silence will not be held against you. Do you have any questions about anything that I just said?
No.
All right, you're here on a reckless conduct. You have a $1,000 bond. This is also under a state charge. All right, are you going to represent yourself or ask for an attorney to represent you?
Give me an attorney.
All right, you're going to have to fill out the application. And once I receive the application, I'll review and determine whether you qualify. Are you going to be able to post bond?
No, I'm not trying to play bond.
I'm sorry, say that again.
No,
You will not be able to post bond?
no.
Okay, all right, so we'll bring you back on Wednesday. But I need you to fill out the application for the court-appointed attorney, okay?
All right, no problem.
All righty,
So Wednesday.
yes, you'll be brought back on Wednesday.
Cool.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, peace.
So Officer Hall, they've all been seen. I just need the two female.
Okay. And we're about to go get them.
Okay, I'm gonna pause until we get them.
Okay, catch the door.
I don't think I can pause, YouTube. I'm here. I'm just gonna go, turn my video off and I'll see them when they come in.
All right.
Thank you.
Bad on you.
Your officer, if you'll turn the
Yeah.
camera back around. Okay.
Okay. Let me see. It should be on. You see
No,
me?
turn it, no, I was saying turn it back around because I can, there you go. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I can hear you all in the background talking as well.
Yeah, we had someone come in that was disorderly. They're calming them down now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Give me just a second. Leah, let me take it off the screen. Give me just a moment. Okay, all right, there we go.
All right, good afternoon. I'm Judge Pitts. I'm going to make a brief announcement. You are here for a first appearance, which means you're here for me to inform you of your charges, set your bond, and give your next court date. You do have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one may be appointed to represent you. There is an application that you must complete and possibly a fee for you to pay. You also have the right to have a preliminary or probable cause hearing. At that hearing, the officer will be present, possibly any victims or witnesses. Everyone will have a chance to be heard. The court will determine whether a crime has been committed and whether it's more likely than not that you are the person who committed the crime. If the court finds that there is probable cause, then the case moves to the next step. If there is no probable cause, then the charges are dismissed. That hearing does not take place today. It must be specially set. You also have the right to have a trial. At your trial, you have the right to see, hear, and cross-examine any witnesses that the city might bring to testify against you. You have the right to bring your own witnesses, and you have the right to testify on your own behalf. You also have the absolute right to remain silent and to know that your silence will not be held against you. All right, first person, if you'll tell me your name. I don't know which one of you all want to go first. Okay, can you do me a favor? And yeah, so I can see who I'm talking to. Thank you, ma'am. You said, what's your last name? Tiffany Williams? I'm sorry?
My last name Williams, yeah.
All right, Ms. Williams, you're here on a theft by shoplifting and giving false information. You have a $1,000 bond set on each charge. Are you going to be able to post bond?
Could I get a signature bond? I don't really have nobody here. I'm not from here, so I don't have nobody here to really bond.
No, ma'am. I'm not inclined to give a signature bond based on the false information. Excuse me. So I'm not inclined to give you a signature bond. If you're not able to post bond, we'll bring you back on Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay.
I probably won't be able to post bond until I get paid on Thursday, but my car and stuff is here in the property, so I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Okay. Are you going to represent yourself or are you going to be asking for an attorney to represent you?
Can I get a court appointed or?
Yes, you'll need to fill out the application. Once I receive the application and review it, I'll determine whether you qualify, okay?
Okay,
Any other questions?
no, ma'am.
All right, so we'll bring you back on Wednesday if you're still here.
Okay.
All right, thank you, ma'am. And then Ms. Powell, Are you Aaron Powell?
It's Erin Powell.
All right, Ms. Powell, you have one charge of theft by receiving stolen property. This is under state charge for which we do not have jurisdiction. Oh, no, I need to go back to Ms. Williams. Give me 1 second. I'll finish up with you first. I'm sorry, Ms. Williams, I apologize. You're going to have special conditions. Officer Hall, can you tell me the location of this shoplifting?
That's the same case as Mr. Malik Davis. They were arrested together, Judge.
And this was Walmart?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Ms. Williams, you also going to have special conditions to stay away from Walmart, 844 Cleveland Avenue, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then I'll go back to Ms. Powell. Sorry about that, Ms. Powell.
No problem.
Officer Hall, do you have a copy of her citation?
Powell, Erin Powell. Just a moment, they're checking, Judge.
Okay, no problem. Ms. Powell, I'm asking about your citation to see if I'm able to set a bond and how much that'll be. In the meantime, are you going to represent yourself or will you be asking for an attorney to represent you?
I have a higher attorney.
You're going to hire your own attorney? Okay. Depending on the amount of money, the amount of bond, will you be able to post bond?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're still here, we'll bring you back on Wednesday. Otherwise, you'll come back to court on the date that's on the bottom of your citation. Now, this is a theft by receiving stolen property. So this is a state charge. You can also waive your arraignment and send the case over to state court. It's up to you.
I'm not sure what would be best for me. That's why my attorney was supposed to be present for Tuesday, and they just told me that we have court this morning.
Okay.
Here's her citation, Judge.
I'm sorry.
Here's her citation. What was the question?
What's the allegation on her citation?
Theft by receiving stolen property.
Is there any language, any other thing written on there or just the code section?
No, it's just a code section. No.
All right. Miss Powell, your bond amount will be $5,000. This is going to be a good bond. I mean, you must go through a bonding company or pay the amount in full to the jail.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. Thanks for it.
All right. You're welcome. All right. Well, then I believe that concludes our calendar unless we have someone else.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, thank you, everyone.
You have a good day, Judge.